This is going to be a fantastic chicken item. Usually you find fried chicken breaded. Well, this is the way fried chicken is made down south, and I must say they do a better job than us northerners do. All the ingredients for this chicken are sitting right here. The exact measurements I'll give to you later. We're going to use cornstarch, flour. Of course, we have chicken, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little thyme, and sea salt. And when this is done, you will have the lightest and crispiest chicken that you've ever tasted. This recipe will work with chicken legs between 2 to 3 pounds, depending on the size. And it's very simple to separate the thigh and the drumstick. You see that fatty area right there? With the knife right on top of it, usually it'll go right through without having to use a cleaver to chop it. So that's what we do to the chicken. See, right there on that fat. And then we're going to season the chicken. And after we season the chicken, I'll show you what's the next step. Remember, I've always said, it's good to have a scale. It's good to measure certain things. What I've placed in here is 2/3 cup of cornstarch and 1 cup of flour. And just take the whisk and mix it thoroughly so the flour and the cornstarch are incorporated nice and evenly. What we're going to do is, I will season the chicken next. Dip it into a water and egg solution. Not a solution, water and egg, which is also going to be seasoned. Everything must be seasoned. So some of the seasoning will come off when you put the chicken into the water-egg mix. Then it'll go into the flour, then back into the egg, back into the flour, and we'll fry that chicken up. Right now, I'm getting the temperature going. We want to get it to 375. If you have an electric deep fryer, set it to 375. Otherwise, get yourself a thermometer and don't be thinking that, oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, the oil. This is the way to work. Now, right onto the chicken, I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, dried thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, which is a little bit stronger than regular salt, so be careful, and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now just thoroughly mix the chicken. Now into the 2 cups of water with the 1 egg, I'm going to put the same amount of seasoning, because once we put it into the mixture, some of the seasoning will come off, and this way we should have the right amount when I'm done. I'm doing this by eye. My recipe isn't written out because I never write the recipe out, so that's what I'm doing at this point. And when I'm done and I taste the chicken and it's seasoned good, I'll let you know in the video. If not, I'll tell you how to adjust it. Now we'll just whip this up, and now we're ready to coat the chicken. First, the chicken is going to go into the flour mix. Well, since a larger bowl works better, our flour mix will go onto the chicken. If you do this with your hands, it's a real messy job. Oh, my alarm went off. It's nice to have a smoke alarm, and that's what that was. So we coat the chicken, and then we're going to place each piece, just knock off any excess, into the seasoned water and egg mix. And then we will be placing this back into the flour again. And don't forget, the reason why I'm using cornstarch with the flour, less of the coating will fall off because the cornstarch is so fine. And that's what you want, a nice heavy coating. Just mix that up. And we go back into the flour. Coat it nicely. Back into the flour. The temperature is just right. These 3 pieces will be going into the deep fryer. Remember, that pan is only half filled because this displaces the oil, and we don't want to have a spillage here. So right in. And we're going to time this also. I would say it takes 20 minutes, roughly. I'll set it for 25 and see how we do. Now if you have a large deep fryer, you could do all the chicken at once. That's good. Now, the rest of this chicken, I'm going to treat it a little differently. I'm going to give it a double coating, which means I'm going into the flour, back into the liquid, and back into the flour again. Hopefully having enough flour here, because it does use a lot of flour when doing it this way. But it's lighter and crispier than if you would use breadcrumbs. Even though the breadcrumbs may be easier to bread, this is a much better item. Okay, let's go back into the liquid. And I'm going to have to get some more flour and cornstarch for the remainder of this.